The best confidence builder is experience. This is one of the best quotes of all times in all the Clone Wars. Alone on a distant outpost, Clone Commander Cody and Clone Captain Rex must inspire rookie clones to believe in themselves to stave off a Commando droid invasion. And when I was doing a little bit of research on this, honestly, it brought me back to so many things fitness related where people aren't confident going into the gym, or they're not confident with a certain type of exercise, or maybe you don't feel confident walking up to talk to a girl or whatever it is, like the fear and anxiety around the things that we aren't good at and the unknowns. And here's a little saying that you can take away with yourself. Confidence comes from competence. Competence comes from experience. And in this episode, everyone's referred to as shinies. It's almost like a derogatory term. Like you haven't had any experience, and so you're a shiny. But you got to realize everyone is a shiny at one point. Whether you are an athlete, you have a clean jersey before you go and play. If you are in the clone army, you've got a shiny set of armor before you go and dirty it up in the field of battle. The most advanced people, the most elite people, the professionals, the commanders, whatever it is, they all started as a shiny. And so if you're like, oh, I'm a shiny, I'm nothing, like everyone started there. Now it's up to you to get the experience to create the competency to then become confident so that you can then get your uniform dirty and no longer be shiny. And so just the whole idea of confidence comes from competence is one that is so important to understand. You should not be confident in something you're not good at or that you've never done before. That's called delusion. You're delusional if you think you can go and just rip off the Sixth Symphony and you've never played piano before. You're delusional if you think you're just going to go and present a giant presentation for business and you haven't reviewed any of the information at all. That's you'd call that person delusional. Like you can't do that. You've never done that before. And so how do you get around that point? Well, ask yourself, when you first started driving, were you confident merging onto the freeway or were you scared shitless? Probably pretty scared. You got better at it, you merged on more freeways. And now you merge on the freeway, you don't even think about it. It's just second nature. When you walked into the bar for the first time, 21 years old, maybe younger if you got a fake ID, were you confident walking up to the bartender and ordering a drink? Or were you like, oh, I don't know, what should I order? A beer. And he's like, what kind of beer? He's like, you're like a cold one. It's like, yeah, right. You're not good. You've never done it before. Why should you be good? But now you walk into a bar, you can order 3 rounds of whatever you want. You don't think twice about it. And so if you're someone who's like, man, I got a bunch of anxiety going to the gym, I've never been before, or I'm not confident using a specific type of equipment, the obstacle is the way. And the bar is a very crowded place. People are judging you at the bar. So just treat the bar as the gym. Go to the gym and recognize that you're going to feel more confident the more you get experience doing something. The more experience you get, the more competent you'll get. The more competence you have, the more confidence you have. If you're a gamer and you play a lot of video games, I'm going to guess you're pretty confident when you grab the sticks and you start playing that game. Why is that? Well, you're probably pretty good. We enjoy doing things that we're good at as humans. That's just a fun thing to do. It's fun to be good at something. You know how you got good? You put hours and hours and hours into it. If you're good at Call of Duty, I guarantee you, you go and look at how many hours you've put into it, it's probably days. It's probably weeks, if we're going to be honest. So, yeah, you should be good at that. You've got a lot of experience. You should be confident loading up a match, right? When it's time to play. Like you've put in the time. And this episode is a great example of just like the only way to get confident is to get experience. The only way to get experience is through doing. One other thing that I wanted to point out with this one is that part of confidence is being able to predict what's going to happen. A lot of times people will be unconfident because they aren't certain. They aren't certain because they don't have enough experience to predict what's going to happen next or to be able to handle the unknown. And this episode actually has a really good example of that, where Rex ends up shooting a droid posing as a clone trooper. Why was he able to do that? Well, he has seen enough people walk to know when it's not actually a clone walking, it's a droid. What does that have to do with fitness or whatever, even nutrition? A lot of people want to intuitively eat or not learn proper form. They don't want to focus on that. The way you're able to intuitively eat correctly is because you've trained your intuition, and your intuition is your subconscious's pattern recognition system. Rex was able to see that that clone was not actually a clone because he had seen millions of clones walk. And so, if you want to get more confident in unknown situations and be able to trust your intuition, it takes experience, right? And through experience, you get competence. Through competence, you get confidence. You can give yourself affirmations all day. You can tell yourself you're worthy all day, all you want. It's not going to matter. You got to do the work. The obstacle is the way. So, with that, let's take action. Let's get some experience. Then let's get confident. This is CT 3939 signing out. I'll catch you on the next Trooper Transmission.